Assalamu alaikum, dear students. As you've gone through the previous lecture, let's recapitulate it a bit. In the previous lecture, we were talking about the subject and predicate, the parts of sentence. And when we ended the lecture, it was about how there could be a problem while we are using a compound subject or a subject and its agreement with the verb. So there were few problems which we discussed in the previous lecture. Now this is extension of the topic, and in today's lecture we will try to cover up the different rules by which we can easily assess how we can make the correct sentences, how the subject and verb agreement can work, and how the violation of subject and agreement can make our sentence wrong. So it's quite critical while we are writing English language, while we are making English sentences. So definitely there is a link between subject and predicate, and particularly subject and the use of verb, which we discussed in the previous lecture. So moving ahead, let's start with the example. Just start with a self-analysis. I have written two sentences here for you. You just try to assess which one is correct. The first one is packing your own lunches save money. And the second one is packing your own lunches saves money. So now with the same subject almost, where on one place we are using save as a verb, and on one we are using saves as a verb. So now you think for a moment which sentence is correct and which sentence is incorrect. Then we'll move on to the next slide, and I'll let you know which one is correct and why, and which one is incorrect and why. And by the end of this lecture, we'll do the few rules by which we can understand that how the compatibility of verb and subject can go on and can work better for us, and we can make the correct sentences. So I think you have taken the thinking time now. Whatever you have thought, let's move on to the next one and first discuss which one is incorrect. Packing your own lunches save money. This one is incorrect. Why? Oh gosh, probably you were thinking that lunches is here, so that's why we should use save. We should not use saves. So this is the point of confusion here. So according to the lunches is plural, we need to use the plural verb, and definitely save is a plural verb. But while this is a plural subject and this is a plural verb, save, why this is incorrect? And previously, let's go to the past. You know, in the present tense, when there is a singular subject, it takes verb plus s or es form. And when there is a plural subject, it takes singular plural form, which is like save. And when it is singular, if it would have been lunch, then it would be saves. So this was the past rule of present indefinite, but now this is lunches and this is save, and even then we are saying that this is incorrect. Now why this is incorrect? What's the reason? Why lunches is plural, so save should be correct. So that's the point of confusion. That's why I want to discuss this topic with you. Now let's analyze the sentence here. Let's break up the sentence. So this is the first part of the sentence, which is the subject. This is the complete subject, and this one is predicate. So now let's have a look at the subject, packing your own lunches. So now there are two things, one is packing and one is lunches. So these both are the part of the subject. So this is the complete subject, this is a complete phrase. So now if we look deeply at the sentence and if we try to understand it, then what this sentence is trying to say, this sentence is not trying to say that lunches basically save money. This sentence is saying that packing your own lunches save money. So although the lunches look like subject, but actually packing your own lunches is what saves money. Not, these are not only the lunches which saves money. So basically our prime focus here is packing of the lunches, not the lunches. And what is saving the money? That is packing of your own lunches is saving the money. Lunches are not saving the money. So that's why this save has been used in accordance with this packing, not in accordance with this lunches. So we have to analyze this complete gerundive phrase which carries packing as its head word, and the whole sentence is linking the packing with saving. So that's why there is a link between packing and saving, although there is a link between lunch as well, but the lunch is linked with the packing of lunches save money. If we take this sentence like this one, packing saves money, this would be correct. But if we write it this one, lunches, if we write packing, then we need to write saves. Saves. Because packing is a singular noun. But if we are writing again this one, packing of lunches, here our prime concern is basically packing. The sentence meaning packing of lunches saves money is same, of lunches is adding something, packing of what thing, but that is about packing. But if we say, so that's why we need to put here s or es, because this is a singular verb which is in accordance with packing. And if we are using it like this one and we are thinking that this lunches, which is the red one now, then our thinking is wrong. So first we need to analyze the sentence whether these are lunches which save money, and if the sentence is like this one, lunches save money, that would be absolutely correct, because lunches is plural and we are taking save as a plural verb, and if it is lunch, that would be saves money. Now it is correct. But the sentence that we are discussing in this case, our prime concern is the packing of lunches, not the lunches. So basically what is saving the money? The packing. So we need to understand if there is any gerundive phrase or noun phrase like this one which has been used as a subject. So we need to understand its head word. So head word here is packing. Head word is not lunches. So as packing is singular, that's why we need to make this sentence like this one, packing of lunches saves money. Now it would be correct one. So this is how we need to identify in the subject phrase, in the subject complete line which is used as a phrase, which one is the head word. If head word is lunches, then the verb will be used according to lunches. If head word is packing, then the verb will be used according to packing. So that's why if we are using it, packing of lunches save money, then lunches is a plural verb, plural noun, whereas save is a plural verb. But save has been used in accordance with packing, not with lunches. So I think that's now enough debate about the topic, and you do understand how we can recognize the real subject Now let's move on. Why does knowing the subject to be singular or plural matter? Definitely it matters, as we have seen in this sentence. So if there is a singular subject and we are using the plural verb, that would be wrong. And if there is a plural verb subject and we are using singular verb, that would be wrong. So that's why the first thing is identifying the real subject. And if there is a complete noun phrase or verb phrase that has been used as a subject, we have to identify the head word. So head word will tell us that this is basically the real subject, which does matter, and accordingly we need to use the verb. So in this way we can say the singular subject plus singular verb is correct, while plural subject with plural verb will be correct. Now let's analyze a bit more. You can have a look at this one. Packing your own lunches save money is a wrong one, and packing your own lunches saves money is a right one. So the subject of each sentence is packing your own lunches. The subject is singular, therefore this one is singular as well. But there is another problem now, which while I am explaining I am also sometimes getting a bit confused. That overall, as there is the word lunches, this is the plural and lunch is the singular. Everyone intuitively know it, that lunch is the singular and lunches is plural. So when it comes to verb, sometimes we are confused because this is quite opposite to the nouns. So when we are using the save, this is now the plural verb and saves is a singular verb. As we know, in the present tense we use s or es form with a singular subject. So that's why this is at the moment is singular verb and this is plural verb. So sometimes we are confused that okay, this is plural now and we are using saves, that is plural again. So we are confused and we basically this opposite relation, contradictory relation of the plural of noun and the plural of verb can't understand, where the verb has no s or es, that is plural, and the verb which has s or es, that is singular. And in nouns, the verb which carries s or es, that is plural, and verb which carries doesn't carry s or es, that is singular. So that is quite opposite notion, so it confuses us most of the time. So we intuitively think that this saves is plural and we make this kind of mistake. Now this is the second phase. How we can avoid it? There is a simple tip. You should think what we can use with the pronoun it, he, she or it. What we can use, which verb we use with he, she or it, and what verb we can use with they or plural forms. So then it will be easier for you. Mean it or he eats, sleeps, runs, wishes, has dreamed, is loving, is and has, and this s, these are all singular verbs. So if we are getting confused, we can simply say here that head word is packing, and if we use it instead of head verb, then definitely we will use we can write it like this one: it saves money. So that is the correct one. So this is the simple way that how you can easily understand it. As a formula, you can use it and they to replace the real head subject. If the real head subject, you are using they, plural, and if the real head subject is singular, you can use it, and then accordingly you can use the verb. So this is a quite simple thing. In other words, we can say that it uses singular verbs, they uses plural verb, they eat, they sleep, they run, they have dreamed, they are loving. So this is the simple phenomena. If you are getting confused in the plural verb and singular verb as comparison to the plural noun and singular noun. So these are the two things that we have discussed so far. First thing, we need to understand the real subject and the real head word of the subject or the noun phrase. And the second word thing, we need to understand the real singular verb and the real plural verb, and accordingly we should use the singular verb with the singular subject and the singular plural verb with plural subject. Now there are a few other rules of subject-verb agreement that we are going to discuss. Now let's discuss rule 1. A subject and a verb must agree even when the other words or phrases come between them. Now the flock of geese is flying south for the winter. Now the flock of geese are the words which are coming in between the flock and is. Now flock is a collective noun, so that's why it is taking the singular verb is. Whereas geese is a plural noun and it can carry are, but the real subject is flock. So according to flock, we are using the singular verb is. So if there are few words which are coming in the way, we do not get confused with them. We do need to understand the real subject, which one is real subject, and our verb must agree with this one. This was the rule 1. Now let's have a look at rule 2. Subjects, when they are joined by the word and, there is a conjunction and is equal to, we can say, plus sign in mathematics. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, mean one individual, one singular, plus one individual is equal to plural. So that's why when we are combining subjects with and, like Dave and Bree are going on a date, Dave plus Bree, these both are now combining together to make a plural. That's why we are using here, or we are not using according to Dave or according to Bree, we are using according to both of them. So that's why when we are joining the different simple subjects together with the word and, we should use the plural verb. But there is an exception. An exception is even if we are combining the subjects with the word and, which is equal to plus sign, even then, if we are using in the beginning of the sentence each or every, we should take a singular verb, like each boy and girl or each cat and bird. If we are using each actor and actress, although we are using actor and actress and is playing the plus sign here, but these both are looks like plural now, but when we have used each, so here each is bracketing both of these actor and actress as singular, and that's why even if we are combining them with the word and in the beginning, if we are using each actor and actress, or if we are using every actor and actress, we will use has, and we will use any of the singular subject. Here has a line in the play. Even if we can say each actor and actress plays her role or plays the role. Now plays is according to each, that is a singular verb. Each actress and actor plays a role or in the play. So now a singular subject is taking a singular verb, and this is the exception in this case. Even if we are combining them with and it is starting with each or every, we will use the singular verb. Now let's do the rule 3, collective nouns. It's quite confusing. Sometimes we are confused about the collective noun. So simply we can say here collective noun are the noun of the individuals when all of them submerge their individuality in the larger context, in the larger frame, and that frame is called plural noun, like students in class, members of family in family, jury and herd. So here individuals have submerged their individuality in these collective noun. So class, family. So it depends upon sometimes the context. Usually while we are using these collective noun as a singular, these take a singular verb. While we are using them as a plural, they took plural verb. But sometime a collective noun, how do we visualize it? Okay, let's have a look at this one. Here, there is no confusion in apparent singular and plural nouns, plural of collective nouns, of collective nouns, like herd and herds. Herd of sheep is grazing and herds of sheep are grazing. So now singular with singular, plural with plural. So apparently the plural of herd is a collective noun, is herds, so there's no problem. But sometime a collective noun is visualized as plural. How it happens, it is a bit confusing for the students. If the context of a sentence, mean if we try to look on the imagination of our eyes, and if we look at the context and really what we are saying, there we are taking the collective noun as a singular, then we will use singular verb. And if we visualizing the situation and we visualizing the member of that particular group or that collective noun, they are performing different actions, so they are performing in different entity. Even then, if we are using the collective noun, that collective noun will take a plural verb like this one. The group agrees that new curtains would improve the space. Now all of the group, we visualize they are agreed, this is their unanimous decision and they are not working in different directions. So here the group collective noun is taking singular verb agrees, but the old group have gone their separate ways. Now you can visualize, mean old group, the complete group has been dispersed now, and every individual of that group is going on the different separate ways. So here the members are the separate entities. That's why this group is taking a plural verb according to the context. Now let's do, okay, last rule. We are going to finish this lecture for today now by this rule, and the remaining rules we will discuss in the next lecture. So according to this rule, the indefinite pronouns, as we know, the indefinite pronouns all, any, more, most, none, and some can be either singular or plural. It also depending on whether the word they refer to is singular or plural. Let's have a look at the situation. So there is one example. All, this is indefinite pronoun that we are talking about earlier on in the previous slide. So let's take the example of one indefinite pronoun all and all. Here all is taking a singular verb is. Here all is taking a plural verb are. Why is it so? So let's analyze this thing. Let's look at the complete sentence. All of the cupcake batter is poured into a greased pan. Now here all is referring to the batter. Batter is non-countable singular noun. So batter, you know, like we can say the cream or the dough that we make for the cupcake. So all batter, in other words, we can say is poured. So this all here refers to batter. Batter is singular, so accordingly we are using is. Whereas in the second sentence, all of the cupcakes, now all is referring to the cupcakes which are plural. So now when this all is referring to the plural cupcakes, accordingly we are using the plural verb. And while this all was referring to this singular noun, then we have used is. So all of the cupcakes are topped with cream cheese frosting. Now here we can see it easily. If we are using all of the cupcakes is topped, that would be wrong. And if we are saying all of the cupcake batter are poured, That would be wrong. In the both of these cases, in the beginning we are using all, which is an indefinite pronoun, but in one case this all is referring to a singular noun, and in another case this all is referring to a plural noun. So according to its referent we are using singular or plural verb. So this was about today's lecture, which is linked with your previous lecture. If you have any kind of question, you can ask me in the session, in the class. There are few other rules we'll discuss in the next lecture. So far it's enough for you for understanding. Please do the practice of these kind of subject verb agreements so that you can avoid these mistakes. Thank you. See you then. Allah Hafiz.